as President of the Republic of Ghana on 7 January 2025. He is a man of vision, a man of character, a man you can trust, a man who exudes humility and love for God and country seamlessly. Under his tenure for president, Ghana experienced true leadership and transformation. No region or sector was left out, but he was misunderstood, he was maligned, he was demonized and bastardized. But as he himself predicted, posterity has judged him well. And today he stands vindicated. And Ghanaians are yearning for his return. Ghanaians are saying they have missed him and cannot wait to see him at the Jubilee House again. Ladies and gentlemen, some call him the nation builder. But I call him Abu Brokosua, Adebeyeye, and Saida. Now with a standing ovation and a rousing round of applause, make welcome to the microphone the man of vision, the man of character, the nation builder, who will lead us to build the Ghana we want together. His Excellency, His Excellency, the victory His Excellency, His Excellency, His Excellency, Ramani Mama.
Let me say that I don't have any list. And so for those of them who were referred to by General as having chosen their positions, you may be very, very deeply disappointed. But I want to thank you very much and say good evening to you all, my brothers and sisters, my fellow comrades, and all the good people of Ghana. Let me begin by acknowledging our national chairman, Honorable Johnson Asiedu-Nketia, our General Secretary, Fifi Fiavi Kwete, the chairman of our Council of Elders, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, and all members of the Council of Elders, and indeed all members of the NDC family. I wish with respect to acknowledge all distinguished members of our society who are with us today, including our traditional leaders, our traditional rulers, our religious leaders, our students, members of the diplomatic corps, market women, public servants, and indeed Ghanaians of all levels of society. You're all welcome and I acknowledge you. I also acknowledge my siblings and my family. My son Sharaf is here with me this evening. And most importantly, I recognize Mrs. Lordina Dramani Mahama. My faithful companion, who has stood by my side through all the rough and tumble of Ghanaian politics. But today we are here to celebrate one person, and that is my running mate, in whom I'm well pleased, Professor Jane Naana Opoku Agyemang. Ladies and gentlemen, I studied history in the university, so I always start with history. History is made up of stories. And as a history student, I've always found an insatiable love for stories. These stories are not simply meant to entertain us, but they are meant to teach us about ourselves, our choices, and our actions, and the useful lessons that we can learn from these stories. Indeed, the evolution of humankind has been the story of triumph over trials and challenges. And throughout history, civilization after civilization society after society, humanity has found in its lowest moments within itself a rare but potent dose of inspiration nestled in the illustrious hearts of its best people to turn things around. In adversity, we find opportunity. Ghana is at one such juncture. Ghana is at one such juncture in its life, and it requires all our best human resources to change the course of our history and steer our ship of state into calmer waters. Often when our stories are told, they are about his story. But right before us today in Ghana, another story is playing out. Right before our eyes, another history is in the making. But this time, I'll call it her story. Her story will blend favorably with our past to create what I call our story, which will inform our perspectives, shape our destinies, and determine our democratic journey. Therefore, I stand before you today with a deep sense of humility, a renewed sense of hope to introduce Professor Jane Naana Opoku Agyemang. A very respected woman, a female achiever, a woman of integrity, who would make her mark on our country's journey towards progress and prosperity. There's no question about it. Over the last few years, Ghana, our dear country, has sunk to the lowest debts in our history as an independent nation. Our country, Ghana, over the last few years, has been buffeted by turbulent seas and has been sailing against a very strong headwind. Our leadership has been uninspiring and inept. We have lived under an administration that is unable to be truthful and honest to the people of Ghana and never accepts responsibility for anything. There can be no question in our minds that the effect of this maladministration has been so insidious and pervasive that today our people have lost faith and hope in not just the government of the day, but in our democratic system of governance. Ladies and gentlemen, our country needs an urgent reset. Our people need a leadership that is inspiring, one that will make our people believe and trust in our Ghana project once again, and believe in the hope of a better future. Ghana needs a leadership that will place value on integrity, truth, and accountability. Ghana needs a leadership that will roll up its sleeves and accept responsibility for our current reality and face the present storm stoically and steer the ship of state into safer and calmer waters. Ghana in its present crisis needs leadership that will do things differently, including sacrificing personal comforts to achieve a Ghana of shared prosperity for all of us, not just a few. The next 4 years will be pivotal for our country's destiny. The urgency required to take our country to the heights it deserves will be matched by each waking day. If there was any indication of intent to think outside the box, to be innovative and use our best human resources to deliver the Ghana we all want, then it is in my choice of Jane Naana Opoku Agyemang as my running mate. As my running mate and potential Vice President of Ghana going into the 2024 elections. I do not doubt this, as her globally acclaimed credentials attest to that. Naana Jane is a woman of unquestionable integrity and whose reputation for honesty and ethical behavior is unparalleled. Our late leader, the founder of the National Democratic Congress and the Fourth Republic, President Jerry John Rawlings, acknowledged her integrity when he told her in 2020, "There is no doubt that it is your integrity that has earned you the position as running mate." A former Minister of Education, a trailblazing first female Vice-Chancellor of a public university in Ghana, and celebrated as a scholar and as an administrator, her shining credentials are endless on the African continent and across the globe. She is a woman who will accept responsibility and bring honesty and truth back to the office of the Vice President. With Naana Jane as my Vice President, Ghana can be assured that an NDC government led by me, President John Dramani Mahama, will fight corruption and restore the gaping absence of accountability that is the current hallmark of this government. We will work tirelessly to ensure transparency, accountability, and justice for all and not just a few. I know Naana Jane is a passionate advocate of the Mahama 24-hour economy policy. She understands the importance of providing equal opportunities for women and young people to thrive in our economy. And as Vice President, she will ensure that women and young people have more access to jobs, helping to create a more inclusive and prosperous society. Beyond our Ghanaian borders, Naana Jane's esteemed reputation precedes her. Major international organizations and allies highly regard her, and she will represent Ghana with dignity and efficiency on the global stage. Her presence will open doors, increase trust for our nation, and secure many benefits with our international partners. But perhaps most importantly, Naana Jane represents the aspirations and dreams of every Ghanaian, especially our female population. Thank you. Thank you. Mami Odende. Thank you very much. As my second in command, thank you. Thank you. As my second in command, she will break the glass ceiling that has held our women down. And she will generate a new hope in our daughters that the sky is the limit. And that they can also aspire to occupy the highest offices of the land. If we are to build the Ghana we want together, then Jane Naana Opoku Agyemang is truly the Vice President Ghana is looking for. She will be a perfect complement in many ways, serving with dignity, integrity, and grace. And under a Mahama Naana Jane administration, the government will work harmoniously with a seamless bridge between the office of the President and the office of the Vice President. At the end of our tenure, our 4-year tenure, the story that will be recorded will be our story. It will be a collective legacy built by the best human resources of our country, male and female. Naana brings a depth of knowledge and a legacy of leadership to our ticket. I worked with her as my education minister and again as my running mate. I've enjoyed a great working relationship with her, one that is based on mutual respect for each other and her deep sense of loyalty. She has great insights into human resource management, empowerment, and social development. And under my administration, she will have oversight, among others, of the education sector, the health sector, gender, and social protection. Thank you. In these dire times, when unemployment rates have risen astronomically and poverty is stalking our land, ours will be a pair of experienced individuals poised to work together to make the difference that Ghanaians deserve. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, comrades, my brothers and sisters, I'm happy to present to you mates, and by the grace of God and the votes of you, my fellow citizens, I'm happy to present Ghana's next Vice President, Professor Jane Naana Opoku Agyemang. And I leave you with this quotation from the Bible. Okay. And it's Romans 8, verse 31. And it says, if God be for us, who can be against us? Amen. And I thank you for your kind attention.
I was for NT Sabre Yeguso at the live coverage, you know, bro. Quotation over to Yako can be Romans 8:31. Say, Yame, Ewa fa. Why, na obetimini DSC. NT, and no any quotation as Sabre. Meaning, if that will be a campaign quotation there. A Jomnon so and more boy I was saying. But quickly, Sabre Yamami Jena no Opoku Agyemang I joining on my Panida John Dramani Mahama. Was stage, you know, eso. Now, video now, watch it to see, no, one ten giant screener, waha, woman for air no, ebi, ear mouth, and also who feed who say, ebi, any IGA pa, inside the auditorium, honso, and a honso about mouth, who say, a mano, ejina wa, woman so any IGA, woman every green, and that is what is happening to see a war, UPSC. But to run you quickly, and some of Penida John Dramani Mahama, flag bearer Emma NDC Amanu Kosi Kayan. Watch I say, baby, a Ghana, a one year a year, a Wumbia A2. Was it storm be a hona here or be a obey candy four, obey Giatumuse, Yanama Humbi Emusese. A current storm na or share nimu, say Obenya Obia. One no a cabomwa. Woman to me, Ajo Hawaii, woman no atumo. Na womo etunya ye adwuma no ayi saa ha no ede afi ho Shamima Muslim ma hu se o kasa kakra ono ene MC for the day eno so ho asem e wo ho a social media hu no se controversy kakra e koso ego mu a che se ye be fa ye wi a interviews be ho a ye de e be
Opoku Agyemang 2024 running mate to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all so very, very much. Thank you so much. All those singing Mami Odende, my response is too. Thank you again and again. Thank you so much. Our respected party leader and flag bearer, Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the next president of our beloved republic. Your Excellency Lordina Mahama, members of the diplomatic corps, Nime, Name, Nananom, Togbio, Mamao, our national chairman, the general secretary, the entire leadership, from the national through the regional constituency to the wards and branches, to our devoted, hardworking, and teaming supporters and sympathizers, many who have traveled from across the country. To you all, I extend my deep appreciation for endorsing my nomination and for accepting me again. To my family, colleagues and friends, all those who have sent me volumes of moving letters and voice and written notes and songs and prayers of support since my nomination, please accept my undying gratitude. My plea is for all of us, bound by a shared vision to see our country take a turn for the better towards realizing that vision. I know you can, and I know you will. Your Excellency, Ayebida, President Mahama, please allow me to address you directly. As I stated in my brief acceptance note on March 7th, 2024, by renominating me, you have demonstrated your remarkable consistency and unwavering commitment to inclusivity and innovation. I have heard you share with me, with the public, as you have done tonight, your rationale for choosing me again. I find this very, very touching. Thank you very much. As the Gonjas express it with meaning, Ansan Kushum. I see your choice as an I see your choice as an affirmation of your belief in the capabilities of the Ghanaian woman. I will repay your abiding confidence with loyalty, with understanding, and a devotion to duty. My output going forward, by the grace of God, will continue to demonstrate what the world knows already, that women are also capable of high achievements, that we do so with that reservoir of strength, determination, and mental acuity that only those who are noble and far-sighted like you can comprehend and contend with. I will share in our collective successes and share responsibility for our setbacks, if any. And at the time of reckoning, Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I will not, in the advancement of self-serving ambition, declare to the whole world that I was only the driver's mate. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I go on to other important matters, please let me state my understanding of where we are as a country, as a nation, and the implications of what lay ahead. The election ahead is not so much about Ghana making history, although that is important. It is not so much about returning a competent president back to power. It is not even about producing the first woman vice president, historical and exciting though these are. It is not only about bringing the NDC back to power, although that is indispensable. Bringing the NDC back to power, although that is indispensable in our current circumstances. The elections ahead and winning them is about winning elections for a purpose. The purpose goes beyond those enumerated above. To heal our country again. To heal our country again. It is about the opportunity to pull Ghana back from the precipice of destruction, of normalizing corruption, and winning it for our party. It's about hard work and abiding sacrifice. It is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards it is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards a Ghana where citizens have confidence and hope and are determined to regain their independence of thought and of agenda. We must work towards a Ghana that at the very least can. We must work towards a Ghana where the law truly works, where there is shared prosperity, where democracy has not become a fluke, where people are not abused, and where the basic necessities of life are not denied the majority. It is a chance to work hard towards building a country where citizens do not feel disrespected or intimidated or ignored because of the way they vote or the language they speak. The victory we seek as a party is to invite everyone to the rebuilding a broken Ghana, of restoring hope in a manner that the is capable of, and evidenced by its history and achievements, especially the recent ones under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. My brothers and sisters, we are not in ordinary. He is capable of, and evidenced by its history and achievements, especially the recent ones under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. My brothers and sisters, we are not in ordinary times. This is not news. Some of us have been around for a while and have experienced the to and fro of politics in Ghana, but never have we experienced the levels of greed, unbridled arrogance, unrestrained impunity, sheer dishonesty, barefaced hypocrisy, incompassion, as displayed by this incumbent government over the past 6 years and more. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the task ahead is formidable, much more than it was 4 years ago. When people ask me, why are you doing this? Let me explain. I remain inspired by the fact that as a people, we have faced terrible situations before. Check our history. Please don't begin with the Fourth Republic or the struggle for independence, although these are also important milestones. Go hundreds of years back. In those hard times, our forefathers and our foremothers too did not throw up their arms in despair. They fought back. They resisted. They sacrificed. They persevered. They brought back hope when there was none. It is our responsibility today to leave something better for the next generation. It is giving up is not an option. We must all soldier on. Across the political divide and professional groupings among the youth, you hear complaints and stories concerning state capture, where this government has chosen to use its power not in the broader interest of all Ghanaians, but to favor a small clique. What is that? John and I have agreed that whoever has participated in the plunder of the state must be held accountable. And my friends, this is not a threat. It is a promise. It is a promise which is premised on the wishes of our citizens across the political divide, and it is hinged on the principle of accountability. Let us face the facts. Today, what do we hear? Is the promotion of ethnocentric elitism, which is masquerading as intellectualism. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is elitism masquerading as intellectualism. It is weakness strutting as courage, and crony capitalism masked as development in freedom. It is shameless hypocrisy pretending to be objective. This will never move our country forward. Rather, the most significant achievement of all these has been a country in near insolvency. Its natural resources such as water, land, and even the environment in rebellion. A people harassed and intimidated into numbness, and as some will say cynically, some of us also bribed into silence. I envisage a report on the administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the ticket of the NDC in his reign 2013 to early 2017. And I bet that the report will have no reference to the following: a multi-million dugout. I don't know about you, but the image I get looking at that hole is a trench in utter shock that anyone could believe it was intended as a Thanksgiving gift to the Almighty, invisible, God only wise. You will not find in his record a free SHS at war. The battle fought on the grounds of food, shelter, space, even calendar, teaching and learning materials, or those who spend a couple of weeks in school and many months at home, just idling by. You will not find past questions instead of textbooks and science equipment. You will not find an atmosphere that suppresses learning. You will not find free water and electricity to a few that has turned out to be most expensive for everyone. Such a report will not find COVID money shared for partisan political campaign purposes. And all of this done when people were dying and they needed just a little bit of help. You will not find in his term an Japan-like manifesto. And you will not find him as president clearing malfeasance and writing love letters to prejudice a bad situation. You will not find that unemployment jumped from 8 to 14%. And actually check the figures. Check the actual figures. Go beyond the percentages. And you will not find a debt to GDP that has gone a wall, or a city that refuses to be tamed. Under his tenure, you will not find weak efforts to hide the truth of Doomsok. The reports will not include scandals surrounding the PDS, Australian visa, Kelvin JVG, both contaminated fuel, excavations, and Aboboya tricycles that can fly faster than unconfirmed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will not find unfulfilled promises of one village, one dam, $1 million per constituency per year, 350 secondary schools from scratch, and too many betrayals and too many instances of disrespect. You will not find in his time Extraka too embarrassed and gone into hiding because it is too afraid to expose its plagiarized content. In truth, such an investigation of its term would not reveal over 100 scandals and still counting. What will the report say about the NDC under John Dramani Mahama? After exhausting the list of clinics, hospitals, medical centers, expansion of existing universities, polytechnics, 10 technical universities, brand new universities, focus on current and projected national needs. You will find the Mahama schools, popularly called E-blocks, and you will find these constructed from scratch. You will find that there was a debilitating shift system and that it was painstakingly and effectively abolished. You will find that the ratio of textbooks at the primary level moved from 1 book to 3 children to 4 books per child. This is a leader you can trust. This is a leader who has the love of the country at heart. The report will highlight new roads, harbors, railway lines, not what we've seen of late, Ayalolo buses. You will find the lack of intimidation of opposing voices. You will find serious investment and practice to enable a digitized economy and society. The report will go on to point at housing projects, including the famous Saglemi housing complex, and even those that somebody has happily raised to make room for a presumed cathedral. You will find that journalists were not hounded into exile. Should I add more? Okay. The report will find that once upon some years ago, the blame for power outages was placed at the doorstep of the President and the Minister for Energy. The report will find a President who solved the energy crisis that he inherited, and a minister who did resign on principle. The report will tell of a timetable for load shedding, provided to respect the dignity of citizens and acknowledge their right to plan, and also to learn the truth about our situation with energy. The report will contrast the existing arrogance in leadership with that of the respectful JDM, who builds the children and youth by offering lasting skills, quality education, serious adaptable training, who opens up the economy to create more space for jobs and self-actualization. The report will highlight a JDM who does not line up desperate young people in the heat of the tropical sun to march and salute him as head of state for jobs that have no head, they have no tail, they have no future. The report will explain the foundations of the principles of the policies of the NDC, that they will see that the NDC strives and thrives on consensus building, from observation, study, analysis, vigorous debates that tolerate all views, to an agreement on the options at hand, and end with well thought out implementation plans. The benefits of such approach inure to everyone. They inure to nation, they inure to community, they inure to individual, in that order. The report will highlight, going forward, the critical processes that will lead to innovations and flexibilities of the brave, timely, intentional intervention of a 24-hour economy, as proposed by H.E. Mahama, after consulting widely with stakeholders and citizens across the country, because he respects everyone. I am not surprised at all that many labor groups, businesses and individuals have embraced the concept. It is a vision anchored on the firm belief that the right policies and with the right policies and incentives in place, we can inspire a new generation of enterprises to adopt a multi-shift work system and wider participation in the economy, thereby ushering us all into a new and golden era of Ghanaian industry. Obiara beyebi. And by the time the policy is in full flight, a couple of years down the road, we should not be surprised to see how, from the vegetable seller to the miner, from the smallest hamlet to the crowded cities, from the farmer to the fisher folk, from the young couple to the single parent, everyone will come and see and apply the benefits of the 24-hour economy for national, group and individual advancement. Please come join us in our hall meetings, in our town hall meetings, and other programs to learn more about this incredibly effective strategy. Do not fall victim to those who have realized that having failed in sloganeering and packaging, that they have exhausted all their strategies and therefore resort to deception and destruction. We are particularly pleased to see, as evidence in credible polls, that this visionary policy has caught on and resonated with the public, especially with our young people. Where are the youth? Are they here? The policy is for you, so please come and learn more about it. I know for a fact that the nation builder, John Mahama, who is not an economist, will deliver this economic model. He thinks through what he does. He thinks through what he says. He considers advice. He is confident enough to amend his views when confronted by working alternatives. He does not rush with decisions that have serious effects on the lives of others. John Mahama does not shoot from the hip. A 24-hour economy. A 24-hour economy will demand that we pay special attention to skills training in Sanwejuma. And that is why we are serious about continuing with the critical reforms and the improvements we made under his tenure in our technical and vocational training institutions to ensure that we equip our youth with the technical skills necessary for a thriving economy. In Sanwejuma also means equipping our youth with tech skills so that they are ready to participate in our economy and in the global remote economy. So, as we mentioned several times during the 2020 campaign, we intend to implement the 1 million coders program, which sets an ambitious but attainable goal to train over 1 million of our youth in coding, data science, and other tech fields. The potential for this pool of young people to contribute to Ghana's GDP is enormous, and inshallah, it shall happen. Definitely, another important area, and why this position is important, and why the NDC has prioritized it. We will pay special attention to issues and challenges faced by women in all walks of life. Oh, the women are not happy. And the men too. This is part of the reason we propose extended maternity leave, in line with one of His Excellency President Mahama's 2020 election promises. And in the 2024 manifesto, the flexibility offered within the context of a 24-hour economy must hold special attention for women, for obvious reasons. Maybe we should meet and have a long discussion on that one. Women entrepreneurs must have access to capital for the entire sector to boost their businesses. And that is why we will actively pursue the establishment of a Women's Development Bank. To primarily nurture and grow women-owned, women-led businesses. Women must become millionaires too, shouldn't we? We must become millionaires too through hard work, as our men do. We do not need hands out. We need hands up. Women of Ghana are capable of managing that bank 100%. The bank must take care of small-scale businesses or tiny-scale businesses to give them credit. And I'm talking about those who are hawking or people whose businesses do not depend on huge capital. I envisage a board made up of trading associations and cooperatives, and all these fully represented and making serious decisions and being accountable to his members. And I into me. Hello, Wanye. And the world knows what we do with our resources when women prosper. We hardly leave our children behind. We hardly leave the wider families, including the men, behind. There is better stability at home. There's better peace at home. Most will demand less job money, so the girls should clap for us. And you know that all these add up to make a nation at peace with itself. Surely this is what Kweju Agri must have observed when he made his famous statement about the far-reaching effects of the education of women. Thank you very, very much. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if anyone has any doubt, just remember a lady called Esther Oklu. What brilliance, what innovation, what display of entrepreneurship. She showed the way. Let's revive that dream and hope and actions of our hero and heroine entrepreneurs as models. Let's stop killing their dreams, because some of us are simply too lazy, too envious, too lacking in original ideas, or have capabilities that are too low to match their results. How do we preach entrepreneurship, encourage a study, and propose its practice, and then turn around to make waste of the efforts of successful entrepreneurs? If you decide you don't like the owner, think of the worker who may be a member of your community, your political party, or even your church member. How about him? We must move to the level of encouragement, appreciation, and support of those who participate in the private sector, no matter what. Their efforts at nation building trickle down to all groups. We will also undertake the modernization of our markets, which remain special and dominant places for women in the economy. Market women deserve the benefits of a clean, modernized marketplace. Our efforts so far bear witness. All I plead is that our efforts must not end with beautiful Kejetia or attractive Kotokraba and allied markets. My fellow Ghanaians, please, let us just be mindful and show some respect to our citizens. So the lights are not stable. And because somebody has not told us that it is doomsday, it means there is no doomsday. So the Electoral Commission is struggling to defend its credibility. And until the Commission tells us that the missing equipment mean nothing, everyone should believe that there are no issues to worry about. How did disrespect get so high? Actions that impoverish and disenfranchise do not necessarily translate into feeble-mindedness in people who are angry, in people who are hungry, and in people who are oppressed. On the contrary, again, check the details in our history. Electoral Commission, I address you directly. It is in the national interest and in your own interest to make transparent what has been and is going on in your establishment. The truth will not be suppressed. You cannot be so independent as to disregard the people who validate your existence. It does not happen anywhere. Easy. A word to the wise is in Asen North. This administration has all but given up. Whereas they will not consult, they will not engage, they will not review. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, fellow Ghanaians, Ghana requires a different environment, and urgently so. The Ghanaian voter is presented again with the experienced, humble, focused, and truthful John Mahama, who has always consulted out of respect and out of the conviction that knowledge does not reside in the head of any one person. The condescending see this, unfortunately, as a sign of not having original ideas. The unpretentious see it as a sign of understanding the foundations of democracy, which is consensus building. I see it as a sign of strength, and I feel privileged to work so closely with JDM. Consensus building should be the fulcrum of any progressive, positive project. It has already been demonstrated to us how without such a foundation, the Ghana without aid has turned out to be the Ghana without compass. We have a choice now, come December 7th, and let us make the right choice. Corruption is too rampant in many government and non-government institutions. Sadly, those institutions meant to check on corruption have been significantly weakened. We must strengthen the institutions, and we will do just that when the NDC comes to power from January 2025, God willing. It is our duty to ensure that our sources of wealth are not given away to obscure entities or shrouded in opaque deals. We must not arrive at a destination where our national assets and natural resources are treated by some as if they were assets of their own creation, to be willed forever to friends and family. We must be passionate about justice, about the protection of our environment, about protecting our differently abled citizens. We must be passionate about institutions that are responsive or are supposed to be responsive to our collective needs. We must be passionate about stamping out corruption. Let no one tell us otherwise. Not even those who have so alienated themselves from reality as to be impervious to the truth of women delivering on the floor, of children waiting for a benevolent person to advance much-needed vaccines, of children learning in dangerous circumstances, of teachers threatened and parents intimidated from their core functions of caring for their own children, of those who can no longer afford healthy and once affordable meals, euphemistically called Face the Wall or KOFI Broke Man. We must ensure that our elderly citizens must not picket for their own money. Let no one tell us that the culture of silence has become the norm. And let no one convince us that 8 persons were shot in cold blood because they had gone to exercise their civic responsibility of voting, and that it was all right for a whole member of parliament to call them criminals, or that it is okay for Sal to have no representative in parliament for 4 years. And all of this happening under democracy because somebody whimsically decided hours to elections that they could not vote for a parliamentary candidate. And please don't tell us that the Bank of Ghana, rather than defending itself from accusations of breach of procedure, can choose to label those who raise the matter publicly as hooligans, and that they should have followed procedure. And at the time of accounting to the people, let no one pretend that they have more human rights than those they have consciously disenfranchised and those to whom justice has been shamefully denied. When those otherwise loud voices we assumed spoke for the voiceless have gone into self-imposed silence and even deafness and blindness, with all apologies to our friends, but this is self-imposed, not natural. Should we honestly be surprised at the high levels of cynicism, if not downright mistrust of our leaders? Are we surprised that we have our youth in despair? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our country is not sitting pretty. Things have gravely deteriorated. We agree to that. It is high time we came together to do the hard work, to build again, regardless how daunting. All is not lost. Our beloved country can rise again. Ghana will rise again, and this time it should not slack. Politics is about building the country. It is not about insults or filthy language. Politics is not about disrespect or fear. It is not about violence or greed. It is not about abuse of power or hypocrisy. Politics is about fighting injustice, hunger. It's about fighting hopelessness, arrogance, selfishness, unbridled greed, corruption, state capture, disrespect of fellow human beings. And in this fight, we don't need private armies. We don't need mercenaries. We don't need destructive ammunition, or in Ghanaian parlance, by heart talk, or wanton ruining of other people's hard-earned reputations. That is not politics. What I've enumerated is jealousy hoisted on cowardice. We need the armor of principles, selflessness, sacrifice, and all these rooted firmly in the service of those who give us the power. Politics is to imagine a better community, a better constituency, a better region, a better country. All of us building the Ghana we want together. The time for us to rise as a nation is now. Let us walk and work towards a victorious election that goes beyond political triumph. The triumph must work towards a transformed Ghana where merit counts, where equity is paramount, where opportunity is not a privilege, where justice is just, where our sons and daughters can aspire to any height without the fetters of bias or limitation. To everyone who has lost hope, our youth as a collective, especially our indispensable constituencies made up of young people, especially the women and the girls, the professionals who are at work, those who remain unemployed, our friends in the media, wherever you are and whatever you do, whether you are driving, you are a food processor, shop bar operator, factory worker, market woman, workers, first class dealers, kayaye, artisans, whatever, coconut seller, cleaner, apprentices, babysitters. I address you last. I address you last because you are very, very special to me. And I open my arms to welcome each one of you. Come partner with the NDC. Come, let us think together. Come, let us work together. Come, let us craft and roll out a future of limitless prospects. A future where your dreams and those of your children are attainable. Where your voices are constructive. Where your lives matter. This moment is for you. No shaking. I thank you for your kind attention. May God bless you. May God bless our homeland, Ghana.
All right. I was here for Sabre Yeguso at the live coverage, April from the UPSA. Make us say a speech, na wakakra fine, ananewa. But we're making very serious points. You be ho enkomo, sanso ena yene empeninphobia ewaha ebedi enkomo na yaje womo adwen. Menene ye ama brako ampofo ena ewaha na Sabre John Dramani Mahama one ne vice womo esa vice move free ho akoni pa fro ho wan no ne kwasa okay wakona konwa ho ena o chiachia sanso ena NDC mpanimfo ne kese na demo abo mabe DJ boy anyom ena ohunu se osa no otukono ena Sabre wahye ne fugu green mo amutie o radio so no Angel FM Tamale ye chiamo ena afi ye sister stations a mo afa live feeding na no ye chia mo nyina Sabre ejum to ekoso but I'm making very, very serious points. Ama say oh hwe na we party organizer, women organizer and ohunu say na wabai ne nsemu a wo sa no party mpanimfo no wo mo sapa jom no a ebo no enye CD enable but we choral performance ekoso ewo hall no inside and timu amuti already so no just to make you have a mental picture said a man no kura NDC Frank Abadama me ankasa there seriously I'm shocked me want dream me ewo ye ma me je na no Opoku Agyemang and some no kind no but minim no as obi a belong to the academia school any book lie ho and will belong to but then no was show say she can really stand on yes obetumi agina political party a platform so campaign oh share punch lines I will raise here and what to be meaning say if you are China corner it will be something that will be a discussion Serious punch.
When your friend is shades,
yes.
Obi to shades,
Yes.
and then what to be now auto within all the sectors.
Baby, easy nyane or say electoral commission na dwen say or person or kire say yanyintum sa se wa kase sa na tie na machines no ayira no emfa ha obia emma enti yanyintum sa say David enti o kan kira mo kra say mo hwe me address mo ena me ne mo kasa no aha sa ena oye no ena o address wo mo directly enti sabre adwontro no koso no penimfo ne ba be hyase apiepie yene wo mo ebekasa na yaje wo mo adwen personally said me kan ye no minim ye ma me je na no Opoku Agyemang but minim no
Enti said yes the same penifo dodo na ena apiepie eba abonte anso aye menya pa enipadom emrantie ene mabawa a ebetwa gu ha ene eche se efia no pa wo ma ba ye no beto se mre nyina wo mu eguso ewa ha dodo na edi asa wo ma ebo ntwini mu ha enche wo be hu se mpanifo dodo na ebepie esi abonte ye be try ye very possible be say ye ne dodo na ebedi nkomo na se di edi kan na ye kan ene Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang shares no watu bi pa enkane a ho nsem a ene ayedum so ebi say ye preso ni nyina o addressing te say sector by sector opekia na waka se Ghana for ye panu ye efa ye nkane a ho ensem enti enkane a ho nsem so okan ye wo se JD embre so timetable by ye bu akonta kire Ghana for ma Ghana for hunu say wu kofie na abefre na wuni kane a wo be charge you phone na wunim say na mini kane a adechia mini kane a o kankane a ho asem pepe
in fact with the kane a de no Prof o use ye or see weak effort to hide dum so or say I say panimfo aheda boa papa nim say dum so e wo ho but dum so no a e wo ho no one person wo mo hide na ohunu say effort no e weak because people are really seeing Senkania need doom.
Ye do,
but will be a
most of them can want them.
Ain't you know? Or say kind or say the choice say your fan or say on your running mate no. Your endorsement in the belief or mampani.
GDI wo woni mu. I want to swear mampani wo woni.
Not just or no or say ewo emma
emu.
Yes, or who know that decision no as adia nani eso yie pa.
So call ye kura no. Na first time when we ni na yasan aboni din se omra meye adwuma no we chegidi aye wo woni mu ema emu
ai enti okan no sabre shamima Muslims yes some one or two announcements be wo hall ho ye be fa abra nipa ni bi ahyase apie all right ohunu gate no ano ho a ohunu se ebi mo ahyase APP but party executive and said the from party apparatchikis no one more eda so eti inside the hall enti abra wo mu pia ban ye ne omedi enkomo but let me run you through was when ye ade a ebia abakosem bi ne eba beye say oh Ghana nya first nya vice president or your ba enti ne montoma no ma o se da bi enya ne nti ene waka Ghana for entoma no
okay
enu achi no when ye ade bi ase bia oh, elections never be 20 months. Was it the who here Casepan say? See a trabano Emmanuel. A bebuamo Ghana, assign Ababy of Ghana, Tepragan, I'm going to be so a baby or namno. Was it so that we pull Ghana back? Next one say baby a Ghana Sino.
You see, ya touch red.
Baby a namno and yet, papa. Okay. So a opportunity a Ghana bet to me assign a hilly bill. I guess who say Ghana yare.
Ya tap it.
Yes.
Ghana tap it.
Enti wo hunu say ebeboa ma Ghana ya de bia edokro yen no.
Okay.
Aha, yet me assign atiapo bio. Eno achi ye bese ehunu nipa wo mu kun wo mu ho eye adwuma na wo mu wotu hu ache bronix sacrifice. Wo se ba ne sa ye bese ehunu bio. Ghana fo nso ye bebu wo mu evisan kan edum fa timetable bra wo so fa timetable ma na
se wa ye wo de.
Aha. San wo kan no ba che onye we mi na meka de o kan ye no na yes nya kire mu e wo twi kasa mu de ama no na je se can you any doom for woman and at least young who say bedum and ask what chinan boy and no man to no one say a disrespect wakra was it no question pan say MPP are buying I was to say no if ever nipa kakra bi was is favoring just a few just a small few nemom obetumi aka no wasi ni pese John Dramani Mahama ene ono won behwe na womo aye de ese womo eye bia da bi mamon fa nhwe ha ye besim monnan ani no enkyere ha na ye ne empanimfo no a epiepie no ebi emra emedi enkomo na yenhunu adwenkyere no se de etie before oba bekasa no na John Dramani Mahama enso akasa abra ama a position na wape party executive ni bi anase party mpanimfo no wo mpiepie ya no sim na ye ne wo mo edi nkomo but yemfa
Respected chiefs, our revered clergy, esteemed queen mothers, our diplomatic guests, our dedicated supporters, our branch executives, our staff from the branch, because you are the strength of our political party. Without you, we do not exist. Our constituencies, our regions, and to all our national executives, our friends from the media, the online viewers, our Council of Elders, your presence here today has made this occasion even more significant, and we truly appreciate your continued support and dedication to the cause of inclusivity and progress. This goes to His Excellency, the nation builder, John Dramani Mahama, the next President of the Republic of Ghana, the man who has given meaning to womanhood. Your Excellency, we thank you. Ma Lordina, we thank you. We are here today because you gave us a woman. Thank you so much. May God bless you. We are grateful. The next one goes to the woman of the moment, the woman who is making history, the woman who is making women across the length and breadth of our nation proud, the woman whose voice has gone so far. To Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang, Mame Yadawase, for accepting this nomination as the running mate of the National Democratic Congress. Your courage, your dedication, and unwavering commitment to breaking barriers and challenging stereotypes is an inspiration to all of us, Mame. We are truly fortunate to have you as a symbol of progress and hope for our nation. We also would like to express our gratitude to all the organizers, volunteers, and staff who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event a success.
All right, here we see for and Asianwa and Egusono. But as I speak, sir, two and na sha. Kada boys and I said, minim, sir, womo what group? I can't really tell, but I said, yeah, womo atro santenwa. Afena, womba be muvu. What your group? Sankofa Riders. Sankofa Riders. NDC. riders for NDC?
Stand for Okada riders. Yeah, we stand for Okada riders. Though we are suffering for the fuel and the road, we want they should legalize the Okada. That's why we are dying for the Okada riders. Yeah, we are here for the Okada riders. Yeah.
And the Okada riders, and I want to say, Womo Ato Sante Ewahano. I understand because Womo Abaha. My name is Amotemeka Sanumpo. Just a broom runkwa. Uti our radio swa. You Okada for bebre.
Naana, and your mama, your mom.
All right. It's inside your kind of Womo Emma or my friend that John Womo Ato Santeno. Vehicles na Bashassia na Emuvu na Uwuse party and penny for no. Afei na Womo Eba Pie na Womo Atimi Ako. Watchina Ekono and Yebehunu Mates no Abra Eba na Yetumi Edi Eho Enkomo. Johnson as Yedunkatia party chairman and Enche Kra Opie ya Uhunu se what's ne Kamuno na Yatwaso Etumi ene empanimfo no a womo APP no ebi edi enkomo mene amabrako ampofo ena ewo ha menim sa ma wote menka na aha
me wa he ya mete wonka
What do you make of events in
Prof, me share assessment and me personally me ya efi meka sa nwumre me ba ha be no nan a ye ka se ba be pie mu na team no edi kan aba ha no even obi a onim UPS and the traffic action ne che se na nipa dodo na expectation is on beba ha no ba hwe na matie ne ebe kosto na no kra ene se efi entrance a wo de beba wo betina ka mu ebe biram e wo UPS na traffic ache ene nipa do me begu especially youth no emebunu ne bae papa emebunu no e bae minim so obi beka se UPS se esuku for dodo na na wa nanso youth a na omo ba ha omo e de dress band ba ye omo e de atwene e ba ha omo e ti moto su e ba ha omo e kura private cars omo de ba ye omo a me ba kura omo nam from urban enya asam ketwa na ohe security wise Ghana Police Service edu ni say ya omo yard papa esanse efi entrance ebedua aposifo benkum ni nifa nyina abomodin atoto niama MTTD fo na omo direct na enya asem ketwa and discipline at the hallmark ye ma me no mahema fo a etu tete chacham ma me hwe se me ne ye nana wadaruma ye fro say na ofi ne ba
ya gran ya bro
ofi
Aguna
ya krom and now by say unveiling of vice presidential candidate Agyemang Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang and some a buy ya keka ye dodo na dey na uti ya ne Ghana for beche
oh there's some more card there no pare some more card there some entasu enti yeah be bibi ayo so ye be boa na ni dwumedi eda n'ani so no etumi abem
okay bi fa ma dodo ho se ma yenso yenya sika eye se ye kasa gina so na wankasa program aba ni nyina abo ne tofa ma Ghana fa wo dwumedi esen
dwumedi ne de aya kama wa ma ye hu se mba so yenso ye wo bibi ye wom se ye yire ye ho na ye di ye dwuma no so
Nana wadama ye fra say. Nya krom e na ye ne no edi enkomo. Ti bra Kofi we e yo ba hima owo aguna nya krom na tutu a e na ye ne no edi enkomo a o chese no kre ene nani age say ya ka ma asem say ma nso sika hye ye botoma e ye nya mukwa na sika ba mu botoma
mo tie some background adwumbi no yes Nasi Nasi wo stage no so a auto dwom Nasi
enyom no ye campaign enyom a na say we ye enyom a
auto aseda auto aseda anti aseda dwom na auto na anti enye
okay
just for we or to aseda
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 Ghana for
aseda no ba beto ye enti no enye say bia oba beto
song no be pa won to ma
enjum oba beto ye
but bra Kofi say uguso ka say mewuram na ma we say o me ba ye no obi ba ye obeti ensem ni bia na say na
o se o
ha ma ye tie we o ba den na o ti
me ba cho ye from me John Kodo mi fi New Age is zonal coordinator mi ba ye no ni amiti ye ne say Naana Agyemang ye no say ombedi ade as a vice president no e be say okasa mi fa ni kasa ba ku pe kasa bebre no mi fa ba ku pe o say ma yemba embe yemboa no na onye adwumadin a ye de ahye ne nsa na onu nkwa ontumi nye adenti na onu nkwa ontumi nye nipa anase nipa dom na ye politics na nipa dom ye politics no se omo a omo adwumudo omo do party no omo a mu di party no to omo akuma so na enye omo a omo ye di say selfish people yeah they say minya pesa mi kumunya as we say in the tree language nti no nyami hu ye no na ni osaka ye na adom akuma no say oba make sure say adumadin a John Dramani Mahama e de ahye ne nsa no obeye amanaso maso amanaso memaso amanaso memoaso amanaso youth nuso amanaso Ghana nyina na e de aye aduma ye de ahye ne nsa na wa hu say onu so wa ye adumadin ni amiti ye kakra bakae no.
All right, I'm mamene Anansi ending komo Anansi and one painting in Huntino. On shadow and who about
love God, love JDM, no matter the evil forces. No matter the evil forces. Dramani Mahama and NDC is coming back to fix the 24 hours economy and more infrastructure. Just said John Dramani Mahama ever be CSC Ghana hospitals, any roads, schools. One junction, one board on a baby year flow because Ghana ye free. One junction, one board on a baby year flow. You better one junction, one dustbin. Every junction, one dustbin. Every junction, one dustbin. You better you one junction, one board on a flow. Yeah, one junction, one dustbin. Sisi a ukoshe check circle I free. Circle. Me ma call Brazil 2014 na mo Brazil. We a tourist center. Omo de born in Naana sisi o I time I come.
I don't answer be din come broadly. Yen hwe ye ma me nsem o kan ne de he na kan wakoma.
De e kan ma akoma no say economy no enye. Economy no enye kra. Enenti Montoma John Mahama and Naana Opoku Agyemang no me face economy in my end and na come akoma because you see accommodate ukura one city first no ukura 3 cities out to me soakings 3 cities uto garlic 1 city sugar 1 city this year out to me soakings over soakings ukura 10 cities and I say 15 cities this year put down some now about say taxi 10 cities first 5 cities and yet and no more then o kwata kwa dia unkwa 2 million o tumi kwata kwa dem ba 2 million ene mama ya dem pa yesere mo ya na for monto abana ma John Dramani Mahama no o me face economy ma yen bibia ya dem free education menu ya bi eco school abu school menu ya bi co school abu school ebu akwa state college ona akufado kuomo oba no oso ba besa no ofa ofin wona ma say 1000 cedis provisions nkwa na ma say 1000 cedis.
All right, Anansi that's na just say wo de no on economy we just say no na fe baller na the way Ghana ayefi no
Sanitation is a problem.
All right, Medasipi.
Cleanliness is near to godliness. In Ghana, you and yet.
All right, Ananse Medasipa. Enti Ananse Anna or chair wada on Sufi say a hard drain na say a bind such a bar. San such a no bit to me SC at the Amano. Ama trust mame.
Me baby na man kebi edie na o share o mata de na chi awe eye JDM door to door campaign team. JDM door to door campaign team. Na say wo te kwakwa wo dan mu a say obi e dan no na wo hwe enipa ko a e wo ho na JDM door to door campaign team campaign no mo ye ne say mo fi ase say
me da say me dey the golden body bana national organization
na den na unya ya udi kofi.
Oh, many aji papa. If you say afraid ya I can't speak in Chui. Afraid ya the bibia shembaso. Yes, we are near strength be. Afraid me who say menya or back keke. Miss me alone making then media many aji pa.
Nani aji amonti mi nkasa
actress omo yes mo twa senior
omo twa sini edo omo ho ahye sini twa mu no omo wa ha
omo nie omo mapampam apa no ne omo
omo e wo nwini omo a eni nwini nyina no
me fra omo a me san kan omo ba
mo ba ye no
Christiana Uni e ba ye na eye action lady enso ba ha ti omi wa ha sajindi e ba ye bigger quest ba ye just say yena ya ba na ye wie na omo to apeti dede nti ye from a yensa enka omo enti na ma ya kakre ya
mo ba ye de na mote
oh ya ba ye no ye yankasa no ye group no ye Unique Stars Movement for NDC and for John Dramani Mahama ye making sure say ye papa san ba because obrana ye womu no ye bre enti na say ye papa John Dramani Mahama eba no be ye fi bre nim na ye say sankofa de papa because e card yankofo we mu ye no koda Mahama bet mine 100 times me am jina kofi me ye campaign e ma MPP e ye campaign e ma e ye hawa kumsin na me de nim call door to door but kofi me ka say me no me ho na me boa
se me ka se me nu me ho a ho na me boa dum so ya de ball MPP achi dum so ya de ball NDC achi dum so no eno abi ana asi kaso de minim se eye sabotage o se o ma shadow se denyo kaso o mu dum like na no mu dum no o mu dum na no mu dum no me ade am eye me de eye 24-hour economy no Kofi hwe adoche na akwa a ye won kofo mu ye adwuma day and night eno na ma Ghana ni kwa adoche onye adwuma ye wo sanso na se ye bi ebema employment akosoro ebema ye befa security personnel bebre taxi drivers ni kwa banya adwuma ye because security be hokrom into ebebo nkofo ho ban into ebema Kofi Kumasi won me Kumasi na ewo me na onim time na kufo mu time na some maze na that wo ahensan ne na asokwa no Kofi boys na na adwuma
like I say unemployment a problem
very big
but mama hwe running mate na ehu hia oba na NDC afa MPP enya hunu de omode ba but omuni bi say
omunyo bia because well, we have the men no we be door na boys nko an egum
what's that
where are the men yes men are MPP omwe wo matching A to Z omu kwasoro ba fam omu nya bi ne na omu nya bi ekina so oba we na yeyi no o chebe ma wo kam ma 100 eboma omu nya mu kwata what you say enti we ya ka say you all the way to from Kumasi ka say you all the way pa afi we ya fa ya sadie ne yedi so enti memo no omu ne ya hwehwe no omu wen bibisa say omu ne ya hwehwe no omu wen bibisa say omu wen mema no omu say omu de omu say si omu po e wa MPP mo no ye hia wo omu epa bi shen
madam Asha Prof na kan bebre ne de hin na kan wa koma jen Prof da bi on na mi bisa
epa bi shen
madam Asha mani ya
ne Prof kan nyina no obo ne tofa e ya de ehu hia pepa na nyansa
mani ya
ne Prof kan nyina no obo ne tofa e ya de ehu hia pepa na nyansa wom wo se baby a wo besi no so oba wo ho a wo si ya na wahu oba ya de nyina yi Ghana eya amagana oba tampa afi na Nyankopon wati esufre no yi oba besi
da se ma me nkoso ana yeni enkomo no aja be me kakra
Ghana eya amagana oba tampa afi na Nyankopon wati esufre no yi oba besi
da se ma me nkoso ana yeni enkomo no manenkasa kakra the reason for BAP a lot of people have questioned it mo NDC mo history mo kra na running mate I think this is a mo repeat first time mo repeat
no correct why you should have a first time indeed you repeat your body and am no should see ne kasa no a sabe za previous how back kasa say ya there now den ya enyi anything or safata say na mai so mo hwe ma mi so no mo eto aba because you be establish a women bank e dia mo busi ankakra govi yenye dem bi na nia ahokyira manfo wo mi na say oba ya wonim se ne ye titifie ya fa na oba bebochi doma Kofi Ghana ye wie ya no
ya da asipi abusiafo enti yeguso a ye didi nkomo a ma hu se the obo mpaye hana bisiu yen konkwache no na afi ye ne no eni nkomo kakra yen hwe se so far said the ekoye no why you satisfied that yen kwe picture ndi obetwa sesi a
we chawi ya mran kanie
ye ne e ma me hana bisiu empombo ko de
nyame asiesie
asa ne wani je ne ye different
o mani age fi se na ya tro bakosem Ghana bakosem papa bi na ya tro
bakosem ne se
ya tro bakosem se oba asima oba wodimu oba wonimdie oba wo kanokre oba wo yi oba ontwa ni mfi ne responsibility ho
Udi adwuma mana oyɛ oba bibi sanka se da bi nyamia da bi oba wo bɛboa ama ade atete asai apro na bɛyɛ ɛna oyɛ oba wo di kan wo yɛ man yi mu a oba bɛyɛ ɔmampanyina bɛdi akyire meme frɛ no akyerɛkyerɛ kwan ba fisaban yɛ wɔ so yi ma yɛ ma no te ho ase sɛ Ghana ma yɛ ndi mu
okay no way
pepacho president Akufo-Addo okoka of Vancouver 2019
okoka se man nimu
yes wase ma ye wo Ghana no ya dwiri ndu se ye be titinafo ama amanyokuo anase government wase is not video ni wo ho wase is not just representation or kan kure say ye ndimu enti se ono na ban no se ma eye 100 mema mienu kura eye mema no ne decide nya man enti aban we also no omumbuyen se na ye tiwe so hu some people for akofo oba na omu be ye no there be me use mate and me di mate for atem if a Ghana for mate wa ha no they are more useful CM and vice president also say yeah free so mom gigi sika mo account omu gigi sika mo account omu nka se oh ka ona yantimi anye sales free some media me ye mate omu gigi sika mo account omu de nkrofon sesa mo omu ka no kre enti ena omu nya akwadwefo enti ni kwaso obia wanya adwuma 7 years agi free salary aba be ka se oye mate enti enne eye ni jema Ghana ma oye ma kyerɛkyerɛ kwan ono no onyamede no besi oni anim so odi ne ho ni enti obedi adwuma na ma na ya akono
why na MPP de ne ba be match mo so far say names ni be appear
ya ba chaw ya running mate no she's 1,000 times better than MPP for presidential candidate enti yen hwe obi your running mate Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang or 1,000 times better ewo kwan bia so esen MPP for presidential candidate enti me pese me mbisa question say wuji di say ye hwe running mate bi there be or chen wo presidential candidate
ya da CP ya maame Louisa Hana Bisiu ena ye ne no edi enkomo no ye di kan ne of ya Obatinja enso edi enkomo and omo gusu a wo mo epiepie me wo bruja yamfi e wa ha me hu ba bi a wasan de
omunya ya na wayira
omunya ya na wo mo ayira but enche na ye de live coverage no ba awie ye sister stations ewo eye Ghana emiamia hodo a motimi ede feedi esom adehia wo mo ewo mantama hodo no mu no yeda munyina ase na mame go through quickly stations are fire sabre na yenam ase se munyina mo akan ho na yetumi ede ama omanfo Ediya FM ewo doma ahenkro Hames Radio ewo go so Owas FM ewo Takwa Rabi 1 TV ewo Kumasi Sanso na Rejoice FM ewo Emem Oboba FM ewo Sankregwa na Fresh FM ewo Kade monso mo afayen Angel FM Tamale mukuremu dendenden mama omanfo Tamale tienka motienka ewo Republic FM Nkoko Sanso na your Voice FM ewo Agona Nkwanta Angel FM Tamale OFM ewo Obuase wo monso ene na eka abomu Angel FM Sunyane and Cheers FM Sunyane KFM ewo Tachiman Opemu Manso Antwa Krom KFM Darling FM ewo Cape Coast Western FM Taste FM Angel FM Takrade Buno FM Angel TV and afe Adonko TV munyina mofa feedi ede emaye yeda mo ase enche na yede eba ewi ase wo mu pie ya na photo bomb
obia pentamako obia pentamako
on the whole no everyone wa hema na ba papa
pa
wo so mo NDC na so mo ba in what capacity
omo ba se Ghana for aye to yensa from se aba hema for omo ba nti omo do mani monyam ene better jumadi no echi
that is very good anya hwe kra no wo mu akire wodo
amamre kakra so amayam kakra
go say wo mu ntimi nye active partisan politics
yeah
but wo metumi aye o man adwuma
okay
enti no That was also very beautiful.
But Prof said now the way need to form a NDC in Tadia in Tomano. Different. And all my beton idea no many a big casa which just say a business akoye kakra or my ton tissue papers no money I didn't don't wanna idea akoye and on the whole day make us say BBI kama security wise or maybe dra and no money all my buy and will be able and home then say or be comporting home and come buy ya boy interviews I any say obi a crado obi buy and sort BB obi ante hwekra 24-hour economy ni obi sana obeka cho sorti obi ante hwekra obeka cho say ye maame Professor Naana Opoku Agyemang e kan say ema enso betimi anya sika e de ahye wo mbotom enti so far so good ne de me yiri say obi abai no obi ati bibia akoye ba ofi
I was for ye de ye broadcast no ba awie ye nemom ade ba ko a I think say going for the floor chineko discussion e be koso Johnson as you don't get here, a see so. Party now, she a beha womo, and a woman I shall see a position.
Me MP
or say complacency, complacency. Asset in.
Yeah.
Ama out of the complacency, no, baby, no free say,
yeah, we
shall see a chair positions, and that is idea.
So be obia, bravo, if you be also pay baby in the NDC, and sana. Enti so no ye titire ni ma party ne ade amegiri so de nani atofom ye pa e na wahu enti ogina so kra san de afutuo ma om se de ye no emfa nche otim se ye di nkunim na emom she socks na lazy mpaboa na ye nsi kwan so kosi se 2025 ye beto abawie aka se NDC amanyoko na adi nkunim ne de enti na fie nka se medi nkunim enti me pe position we me pe position o ye ne sa de no o position o fie wa na obedi no anhwe ya ne nkunim die no ama.
All right, I was for now ye de mo besia on se metoto mani te se presinia ne ka aturaja no na o so o ye den no na metoto mani se nka menya ebi achi obi aka ho but ye mfa munsia menim se enye memene dan kwa na memene ade watchina econo discussions no ebesan atwa so ebeda team ni nyina ase technical team ni nyina list na wan hwa me bua na majabi ho enti no membo bia din but ebeda technical team ni nyina ase na ye de mo asia me de ni KOFI adoma wanwani na afi ama brako ampofo yen na ye gina mu de broadcast ebre mu efri se wo mo sha asia till this time enti radio besom na TV enso asomu na other programs no atumi atwa so yakram
and when you pay me up one day yarewa and adokuri nipa ni afri video ni be sure we can start here carbohydrates no now so what can say would it yakasa apomede ahode true green foods if you're not purposely enumere ubetimi do want to true green foods on kwaso say enuania we hear so ubeti na preventing enyaruwe bi say hypertension diabetes cholesterol and all sorts of metabolic diseases say stroke cardiovascular diseases cancer and in that's for and one need true green foods a boost to what US go percent way to so etikakra and now we maintain no kono true green foods na ebeye homa na ye fair did we be afraid
703 300 5039 and 703 670 3640
true green foods apomezin kwara chum
stop spend. Hello people, now Tap Send is finally in New York. You thought we are not coming there. We are in your place. So what you have to do is to make sure you send money to Ghana. If you're in New York, families and friends in Ghana are waiting for you. Don't send it. All you have to do is to put in your information, sign up on the App Store or Google Play Store, and then you tap and send. New York, we are live and in charge, no excuse. So make sure now you use Tap Send to send all the money you want to send to the families in Ghana. You know what I mean? Tap Send. It's secure, it's fast, and it's convenient. Open day. Did I mention my name? My name is Calabos. the only boss with what then ever.
Download Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Send. It's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Tap, spend. Hello, people. Now, Tap Send is finally in New York. You thought we are not coming there. We are in your place. So what you have to do is to make sure you send money to Ghana. If you're in New York, families and friends in Ghana are waiting for you. Don't send it. All you have to do is to put in your information, sign up on the App Store or Google Play Store, and then you tap and send. New York, we are live and in charge. No excuse. So make sure now you use Tap Send to send all the money you want to send to the families in Ghana. You know what I mean? Tap Send. It's secure, it's fast, and it's convenient. Open day. Did I mention my name? My name is Calabos. The only boss with what then ever.
Download Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Send. It's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Tap, spend. Hello, people. Now, Tap Send is finally in New York. You thought we are not coming there. We are in your place. So,
hello, love.
Gary, do you have Mommy's parcel for her big day?
The shipping company says it will take 1 month.
A month? Gary, use Rapid.
Rapid?
Rapid courier ships from the United States to Ghana and 9 other African countries within 3 to 5 days. Log on to rapidgroup.com, buy, ship to us, and we deliver right to your doorstep.
That fast? Yes, that's Rapid for you. Can you sign this?
I thought you only ordered Mommy's parcel.
No, I ordered a few car parts too.
Are you too busy to shop? We will shop for you. Rapid also has a luggage delivery service, so you can make that extra luggage and we will deliver at the lowest rate. Locate Rapid Courier on the Spinters Road off the Lekma Road.
Rapid Courier, just shop, we deliver. Enjoy.
African market, and I'm Papa. African market. Order for so bronze ha. Now open African market. Papa Didra. Mwakuma to yemu dia. Malata African market. Edemu sronko. Smoked fish, meat, dry fish. Sa upe kenki, rice, yam. Fufu fra ni nnuane ahodo free Africa. Afei, ye want to ma papa. Bowire kente, adawumase kente. Ahweni ahodo. Ani nneoma bebre. Na ubenya wo Malata African market. Hwehwe ya chi akwan ene number e wo screen so. Malata African market. African market mu King Kong. Malata African market, and I'm Papa. African market, and Malata African market, Malata African market, and I'm Papa. African